Close your eyes, seek paradise. Won't change your mind, can't shape the lights. I'll take the chance and roll the dice. I want it all, just for the night. I live it out like I'll never die. I lose my head in the starry skies. Can't chain me down, I feel so alive. Back down, only one way out. I let you run my life. Now you won't get me down. Untamed, guess I lost my mind. You turn me inside out. No one can stop me now. So turn up the light. Turn up the light. This is what I waited for. 'Cause the clock keeps ticking, hard for me to keep up. I can't take it no more. 'Cause the time keeps turning, feels just like it speeds up. Is what I waited for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Christmas Cup here on SHiversteel. We've got two teams facing off in glorious fashion: Infamous SK versus Invictus Fortuna. Currently, blue team has banned Taka, and orange team has banned Celeste. Teams are getting ready here now to pick. And we will just wait for them to finish locking in on those characters. And they do go ahead and pick those characters, and here we are. Now, blue team, Infamous SK, the Zodiac, Arctic Jelly, Spaghetti. INFT is now played by Nuzix, Kandra, and iBoss. For team comps here, we've got a pretty interesting team comp with blue team now going for the Sky. Interesting enough with Ringo and Arden paired up in the jungle. Pretty unconventional team comp we have here, where we have an Arden and a jungle Ringo, or as some people like to call it, the Jingo. But that is what SEA does. They do these kind of unorthodox team comps. On the side of the orange team, we've got the Koshka, which has been proven to be a very powerful character these days. But in the lane, so that's really interesting. A Koshka in the lane with the Cruel and Arden, more of a standard jungle pairing. Very interesting. There goes the Flare. They do see them. It's a 3v2. They're going to come in on them. It's a 3v2. Arctic Jelly trying to get a hit. There's our Achilles heel shot. Ian on Kandra. There goes the barrage and takes down Nuke Sykes. Takes down New with iBoss. Got to be a little bit careful here, making sure that doesn't get ganked from behind. But Koshka very strong. But here comes a barrage in on Koshka. Koshka fighting it, trying to get that extra hit. But there goes the rockets, and Koshka drops in the very last minute. Good job from Spaghetti to just barely get that kill out. And then on the other side, we've got, again, Orange being pressed really hard. You know, Cruel, really tough to get that early farm. Here comes in on iBass, in on Arctic Jelly. Scott Trap does go off. Zodiac in trouble as well. Oh, look, he takes down Kandra. Kandra comes back in on that mistakenly. Comes in, back in that fight, and gets just deleted by Zodiac. Zodiac now in trouble, however, and he's going to go down. So it's a 1-for-1 exchange in that last battle. Alright, so what we really need to see INFT do here is they really need to start getting this jungle farm as much as possible, as Cruel is such a goal-hungry character. Moving up to the lane now, Spaghetti getting all the last hits on there. Take a look at the CS numbers here. 25 for Spaghetti and 11 for Ibas, so really hurting here in terms of the CS. It's a 3v2 now. Orange team trying to come back, but here's a counterattack. Spaghetti comes in on Ibas. Ibas gets deleted by the barrage. Now it's a 3v2. Condor trying to get out. Not much he can do. Trying to get a kill on Zodiac, but look at the barrage just deleting. Oh, Condor, and Condor goes down, and New is next on the list, and that is a first ace you got here. Not completely on time, however, so the ace buff isn't going to go for them. However, oh, look at that Scout Trap almost taking out Zodiac with the super fast respawn times, but well in favor of blue team right now. 6-2 with more than half the gold of orange team already. Ibas, again, you're looking at Ibas' CS numbers, 11 compared to 33 in Spaghetti. It's going to be really tough to try to compete with that. You know, there's a level difference already, 5-4, but Koshka still has that really strong early game damage working for her still, so just get a little bit more CS here. I think they're going to be better off there. Meanwhile, Cruel not really contested by blue team here. What you want to see blue team do is really press this advantage. Now they know they're up in gold, they know they're up in levels. They should be playing very aggressive and trying to push back and just continually applying pressure on to that Cruel, but they need to be a little bit careful now because of the rotation down from Ibas can really do some damage. And here it goes as a barrage. Oh, wow. New goes down to the A-scale barrage. Ibas gets hit by the B-scale barrage again. Spaghetti pulling off some amazing shots here and getting the kills. Already 6-0 for Spaghetti. You're looking at the barrage damage here. Just massive amounts of barrage damage. And that's going to go ahead and give them the ace as well as the gold mine payout for 89. Not a lot, but worth it strategically to go for that at this point. And there goes the minions pushing on the turret now. Orange team already back in the fight, but it is looking grim. The mobility from Sky able to get away from Koshka a lot of the time. And that barrage is doing so much damage. If you hit, it's really important that you do hit that. And down in the jungle already, the pressure again, as we mentioned before, continuing to put pressure down. Oh, the Spectral Smite does go off just in time. And they do trade 1-for-1. A Vanguard there at the last minute might have actually saved him, but looks like it. You know, they're just going to exchange 1-for-1 kills there. So Orange team kind of hanging on by the thread of, you know, just a tiny little thread, a little hair, the chinny chin chin. They're just barely hanging in there, but obviously quite dominant play here from Infamous here. A really good team here in Southeast Asia, one of the dominant teams in Southeast Asia. They are representing actually in this year's VIPL in Seoul, South Korea. That is, I believe, their XO team. This is the SK team, but a lot of talent in this team, a lot of talent to draw from and create these teams. There goes Hellfire Brew in on initiating. They're looking to try to push Condor out. The Vanguard comes in to give him a speed boot, but it's 3v2. There goes Crazy Catnip Frenzy onto Zodiac, and he drops despite the Scout Trap. Spaghetti in a little bit too late on that rotation. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's a very aggressive move to use the Vanguard there to give the speed boost, but I think considering how easily Koshka can rotate down, you've got to be a little bit careful on that. The barrage misses. B-skill coming out. Not yet. Barrage not yet up. It is up now. Spaghetti's going to use that. Try to get some mobility there. The deletion on the Rockets. And Condor trying to get close enough, but hard to get in on Spaghetti to get those hits on because of the mobility. And look at the barrage once again. Spaghetti come up with the clutch plays there. A 3v2, or a 2v3 rather, and they run with the ace there. And, you know, that's partly because of the level differences you're seeing here. You're seeing, you know, level differences, 7 for Spaghetti against a 4 and a 5. Kandra just absolutely getting gold starved. The gauntlet comes down but misses. Not a very good gauntlet there from Arctic Jelly. The Vanguard trying to get Zodiac some distance, and Ibas has to get out. So we're seeing this. We're seeing a problem with a lot of these engagements where you have the Koshka in there, but not able to do enough damage because of a lot of the problems with the levels and the gold. The CS difference is just a huge problem right now for Orange Team as they try to get back some farm. But you're seeing the battle there go down. Kandra getting pushed out, trying to get away. The turret is aggroed. Got to be a little bit careful. Oh, but look at the damage there. The barrage just barely missing. Nice Vanguard in. Kandra surviving, but the B skill from Spaghetti takes him out, and there goes a pot for Arctic Jelly. So the timing of that Vanguard really important to let Spaghetti stay in the fight and get that barrage on. Now, you know, once that barrage hits you, it's just go time. There's so much damage on that barrage, and here comes a stun in from Koshka in on Arden. Vanguard comes out. How far Brew? Is it going to be enough to take Ibas out? The burn. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. That's not going to be enough. Here comes a gauntlet in. And the kiting from Zodiac. There's a nice Vanguard giving some distance, but the Spectral Smite does go out. Kandra getting kited down again. Look at the level differences. Level 9 from the Zodiac. Level 6 from Kandra. Just cannot compete with the level differences at this point for Orange Team. And here we go. There goes the ultimate. Death from above catching New. New's in trouble. There goes a gauntlet. Catches Ibas. Is going to be enough. The damage. Nice rotation in from Spaghetti. Understanding. Oh my goodness. He backdoors Kandra. Did you see him laying in wait there? He was just sitting, laying in wait, not taking the turret aggro, and just... Poor Kandra had nowhere to go, and he just comes up behind him and just barrages him in the face, and that's it for him. So this is a decidedly one-sided game here. 23-4, massive amounts. 14.9k gold to 4.7k gold. Really puzzling why they went with this the decision of going with the lane Koshka. I find it just puzzling that Infinite would go with this type of thing. Ibas continuing to go after Zodiac, but it's not going to be enough. Spaghetti with the barrage, just really good. Spaghetti really good at being able to keep the barrage on his target and just doing that sustained damage. That A skill damage, just so much damage from Sky, and going with the crystal as well, so you know it's maximizing that crystal build as well. The barrier is up on the Vein Crystal. Spaghetti's low. This may be bad news for Spaghetti as he goes in. How far Brew hits Koshka. Koshka's going to burn out, but they're going to take that, and Arctic Jelly's got nowhere else to go. The gauntlet comes down. Koshka does drop in that last exchange, but the Spectral Smites are going to clear out Arctic Jelly, and there it is. And the one ace, the first ace for Orange Team as they try to defend this last push to the Vein Crystal. Welcome to everybody who is just tuning in. This is the SHiversteel Christmas Cup group stage double round robin between Team Invictus Fortuna and Team Infamous SK. Taking a look at the builds here, some noticeable things we've got here for Spaghetti. Getting a 4 stacks on that Broken Myth. Down with Zodiac and the Breaking Point, which is a really good item. I like that. I like the Breaking Point on Ringo, especially in the jungle, or like I like to say, the Jingo. And of course, you got standard Ardens for both teams. Kandra, no Breaking Point yet because of the farm problems, but a SHiversteel in the beginning. Here comes an ambush in on New. They're focusing on New, interestingly enough. There goes the sword throw. Kandra comes in. Crazy Catnip Frenzy. Kandra being hit by the death from above. He's trying to get some stacks in. There goes a Barrage. Spaghetti clears him out. 371 damage, 409 damage. Ringo with the breaking point. 13 stacks just clears out the team, and that is going to be game, folks. That is exactly what you want to see from your Ringo with the breaking point. You know, lack of focus from Orange Team. They should be realizing they need to shut down Zodiac on that breaking point, but, you know, also the problem right away there is the formation. A lot of times the death from above just slowing everybody down and deleting them. Spaghetti doing a fantastic job on Sky, really showing us textbook Sky play and basically how you should be keeping that barrage on people, and that's the game there. Spaghetti, the MVP player of this game, 14-1. Ringo not too far behind with 13-4-10. That breaking point doing some heavy lifting for them in the end there. Pretty standard builds from both the Ardens and Ibas on that Koshka with only the Aftershock and a lot of level and CS problems in the beginning. Not a good idea for Orange Team to go with that lane Koshka, in my opinion, as the CS pressure is going to be really hard for them to maintain, especially when you're going against somebody as good as Spaghetti on Sky. So the first game is going to go then to Team Infamous SK to a decidedly one-sided victory, but it is going to be best 2 out of 3, and we've got one more game coming for you guys. Team A is now going to ban Sky based on that last I don't blame them based on that last performance from Spaghetti. So Team A is now going to ban Sky. Sky up here. Let me see here. Okay, yep, Sky, let me get Sky up here. Okay, so Team A bans Sky. And Team B bans Glaive. Okay, so Team B bans Glaive then. Alright, so Team B bans Glaive. Alright, let me just... Okay. So, based on that last performance, it makes a lot of sense for Orange Team to go ahead and ban that Sky. We will see what Spaghetti plays next. He's very versatile player. He can play Celeste really well as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Spaghetti goes with the Celeste next, a very powerful lane Crystal Mage. I think that might be what they end up going with. So we'll just have to wait and see. Really interesting to see if Orange Team is going to go again with that very odd lane Koshka. I don't think it worked for them. I think they need to change their strategy, because the problem with a lane Koshka, especially if you're going to go Crystal, is you don't have Book of Eulogy, so you have no way of gaining any life back from the minions you kill. So if you can be constantly under pressure from ranged characters like a Celeste or a Ringo or a Scarf, and it's going to be really hard for you to maintain CS numbers, which means you're not going to be able to carry and get your items, which means that responsibility is going to fall to the jungler. And if you have a slow jungler like they had in the Cruel, then it's going to be tough for them to win team fights in the early game. So let's see what happens here. Okay, yeah, as predicted, Spaghetti is going to go with the Celeste. Looks like Invictus is going to go with the same team comp. So that same team comp is very interesting that they decide to go with that. We're seeing Zodiac now go with a Jewel and a Catherine, so they're going to go a bit more offensive with the build for Team Infamous. This is a good team comp as well for an aggressive style of play for Team Infamous. They've got the double stun chain with the Rocket Leap, triple stun chain with the Rocket Leap, the Core Collapse, and the Merciless Pursuit, which means they'll be able to lock down Cruel really, really well and prevent him from doing that. Ibas, as I mentioned before, is decided to actually go for the Book of Eulogies in the beginning, which is probably a smart move because, you need to get that life back before you get poked. Interesting that we're seeing Spaghetti actually in the jungle with Celeste, not in the lane. We'll have to see how that pans out. I think it should be okay. But it's just, you're seeing a little bit of a poke battle here. Zodiac versus Ibas. Zodiac does have Book of Eulogies as well, so it's pretty even here. Ibas just trying to poke and poke and poke. I think it might have even been a better matchup to have Spaghetti in the lane with Jewel down in the jungle. But this can work as well, I think. Especially if you're trying to push that Cruel out in early game, so it's really important to push the Cruel out and prevent him from getting that farm. And I think, this is going to be crucial to see how successful can they pull this off. Orange Team, can they pull this off on locking down that Cruel? There's a nice Supernova goes in. There's a Core Collapse. Condor in trouble, gets deleted by that Heliogenesis. Really difficult for Cruel to fight in, but here comes Ibas. Spaghetti is low. He's going to go in, dive in. Spaghetti's in trouble. There's a nice Merciless Pursuit, but the Vanguard from New waiting in the corner is going to help them lock that down. So a little bit of overstay here. Orange Team needs to be a bit careful because Cruel is going to come back in now really fast with that full HP. So they got to be very careful here in terms of how they do this. The farm's stolen, but now they're going to go for Arctic Jelly, who's in trouble. Mine is going to go off and takes down Arctic Jelly. It's a 3v1. Zodiac needs to get away. Rocket Leap available for him to use, and he does use it and gets away. But this is looking to be a very different type of game already as Zodiac comes back in to steal that. Ibas doing the chase. There goes the Vanguard. Zodiac does get away, but it's going to allow Kendra and New to then go ahead and steal more farm. Spaghetti in trouble a little bit here. Core Collapse, nice Core Collapse, double stun. There goes the Heliogenesis. Kendra in trouble. Spaghetti using the boost to get the distance. One Supernova and takes down. Oh, but here comes Ibas from the other side and takes down Spaghetti. So you're seeing a really fast, really mobile style of support play from Ibas in terms of that Koshka, So the Koshka being able to rotate in and out so much is really helping them win these team fights. Had they left Spaghetti alone, then it's going to be a problem. Oh, yes, I need to swap the team names. Thank you for that. I'll have to, okay. Sorry, let me just swap these team names. Okay. Sorry, I'm just fixing the team names here. Okay, that should work for that. Again, let's get back to the game here. Sorry for the technical problems for that. The Zodiac now doing some poke in on that. We've got blue team all congregated together down in the jungle. Spaghetti, Arctic Jelly now back in the jungle trying to do some more farm. Take a look at the builds here. Koshka in with that Eclipse Prism. Still holding on to the Book of Eulogies. Spaghetti with the Heavy Prism and the Eclipse Prism. Possibly looking to rush either a Broken Myth or just straight out Shatterglass. We'll have to see here. Here comes the rotation down. They are going to push a little bit. We'll see how much they decide to push down with Koshka now pressing the lane up top. I don't think they want to rotate down here. Koshka coming in on Zodiac. Really, really aggressive. Zodiac just trying to get some pokes in, but the speed of the Thunder Strike's too slow. But here's Spaghetti trying to get some damage in with those Helios. Core Collapse does hit. Cruel. Looks like they were aiming for that Cruel. Rocket Leap misses, unfortunately. Zodiac in trouble. Zodiac is going to go down. Good decision from Kandra, but nice kill from Spaghetti to trade there. Ibas in trouble. Going to come in on Spaghetti. Not going to be enough there. New and now in trouble. A nice Merciless Pursuit stun. And there's the ace, the first ace of the game for Orange Team. So all of that kind of, in a way, set up by Zodiac. So Zodiac jumping in like that and getting killed actually kind of set up the bait for Kandra, the Cruel, to actually get taken out in his own right, and that kind of led to the snowball there in that team fight. So interesting how, you know, a seemingly mistake from one of your members of your team can lead to actually helping you guys win a team fight. So that's very interesting in itself. Here comes the 3v2. Ibas coming in, but a nice Core Collapse. There it goes. A Solar Storm comes out. Ibas in trouble. Good double ultimate you got from the Zodiac and from Spaghetti, both hitting their ultimates, locking down and just creating massive amount of damage out of Ibas, and Ibas left alone. And they're going to go ahead and go for the gold mine here. So you've got good mine placement on both sides. Really important thing to remember to do when you are going to go for that gold mine is to put those scout traps in the bushes so you can tell if the enemy is going to try to rotate down and try to steal your gold mine. So yeah, as we mentioned before, Spaghetti deciding to go straight up for that Shatterglass. Probably a smart decision, I feel, when you are playing the Jungle Celeste, is to just go for that massive burst of crystal damage as much as possible, because you are going to be doing a lot of poke damage and trying to get kills with the supernova connections when you do get into team fights in the jungle. Oh, here comes Ibas in. Not a good time from Ibas. Double, triple stun. Ibas picking the wrong time to jump in there. Nice bait from Zodiac. We saw a lot of good things happening there. Perfect rotation up from Spaghetti and from Arctic Jelly. Ibas a little bit unlucky in terms of getting that jumping in there, but look at that bait. I mean, that we'll have to ask them, you know, later if Zodiac actually intentionally tried to do the bait. Here comes the Gauntlet. Oh, the nice sword throw from Kandra is going to take him out. Vanguard comes in. Orange Team a little bit split. Kandra getting kited down. There goes the ping on Kandra. I don't know if Kandra's going to survive this. Yes. Nice Core Collapse. Oh, the Core Collapse from Spaghetti allows him to get away. Not going to be enough with the Vanguard push on Ibas and the Reflex block, but wow, look at that. Double stun trap from Spaghetti does manage to secure the kill, and the gold mine is going to come out and help out. Here it goes. Arctic Jelly trying to do the bait. Missed Thunderstrike, but the Rocket Leap does hit both. Ibas in on Arctic Jelly. A pot's been hit, and down goes New. Ibas just stuck in the middle of the team fight. I'm not sure why he's sticking around here. Nice ultimate. Oh, Zodiac clears him out with the ultimate. Great job from Zodiac to realize the trajectory of Ibas and hit him square in the face with multiple nuclear energy blasts with that ultimate. Do you guys like the tier 3 skin on the Jewel? I think it's pretty badass. Stun in on Cruel. Cruel's building the stacks, but here comes Spaghetti already. Core Collapse going to come in soon. It does, and takes out. Nice Rocket Leap. Oh, double Core Collapse. Double stun with the Core Collapse and the Rocket Leap, just devastating Team Invictus. They are just devastating them with the stun chain. Great teamwork, great synchronization here from Team Infamous SK. Just showing some world-class playstyle here. The versatility of Spaghetti, a really powerful tool for them right now. Spaghetti able to kind of get away as well. Kandra not really able to do much against the amount of distance. There comes a stun in Core Collapse. Look at the deletion there. Blue team jumping in and just getting absolutely melted from the counters. I like the fact that orange team is waiting to use a lot of their stuns until after blue team has actually come in and initiated on them. Had they blown their stuns earlier in the team fight, they wouldn't have had them for a counter like that. But I really like how orange team is countering by waiting for blue team to come in on them and then just boom, 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 stun chain. You got double, triple stun chains. Again, remember, you got the core collapse, you've got the rocket leap, and you've got the Catherine Merciless Pursuit. A very, very offensive team comp, but with the playstyle of Infamous, and you know they're known for this really aggressive playstyle. Works very, very well. Gold Miner is about to pop here, and there goes the minion candy on the Gold Miner. Really important to remember to get that Gold Miner some minion candies so that he can fight for you at a much higher level. Also interesting to see Spaghetti bush checking with very little fear, not even putting Heliogenesis into these bushes. There goes one, but now he's separated. There goes a nice block on the ultimate. Spaghetti just trying to come in. Rocket Leap misses, but does knock him back. Spaghetti in versus Ibas. Survives with that fountain. Oh my good lord. Spaghetti just wrecking them. Just absolutely wrecking them. Taking them on and surviving. A really nice fountain too. Let's not forget the support role in this. That fountain at the very edge of death, bringing Spaghetti back from the dead and letting him get one or two more kites in. Rocket Leap. Oh, look at the Rocket Leap damage. Just deletes Ibas. Ibas nowhere to be found. The damage that Orange Team is doing right now is so massive. And look at that. Yet another ace. Back-to-back aces from Orange Team. A clear and decided victory. 6.7k to 18.4k. Pretty much an exact repeat in terms of gold and score from this team. So you really got to question why Invictus goes with the same team comp despite how badly they got beaten before. I cannot understand why you don't change your tactics, why you don't change your team comps when the previous game doesn't work for you. You have to be flexible. You have to understand where your weaknesses are, and you have to make those changes from game to game. If you're unflexible and you decide to just be stubborn and do the same thing over and over and expect different results, that's the clinical definition of insanity. A good game there from Infamous SK, showing their dominance against one of the better teams, or supposedly one of the better teams, Invictus Fortuna here. 24-8, a very fast game, 12-minute, 31-second game. Taking a look at some of the builds here. Spaghetti notably going with that Shattered Glass in the beginning and then following up with the Broken Myth. Very standard build, just the order a little bit different in terms of you want that upfront burst damage with the Shattered Glass right away instead of waiting for stacks on Broken Myth. Especially when you are playing a Jungle Celeste, you want as much damage up front because you will be doing a lot of poking and supernovas, and the more damage you can do with those, the better off you will be. For Orange Team side, notable here is the Cruel going with the weapon speed, but not having or finishing off that breaking point. Unable to really make much difference. Good focus fire from Team Infamous to take out the Cruel really easily. When you've got the triple stun chains, really good to then lock down characters like Cruel to prevent him from getting fed. Yeah, I'm not sure from like VGL. As far as VGL rules go, you're not allowed to sell or clear out your build. So we will need to ask the referees and the organizers about that, because I'm not sure if that's allowed. I can pull up the rules here. Speaking of the rules, just so you guys know, the Christmas Cup is a group stage right now. 8 groups of 4 teams, double round robin with global bans. Match will be best 2 out of 3. A 2-0 win equals 3 points for the winning team, which means Infamous SK is going to go in with 3 points. A 1-1 draw is 1 point for both teams. 0-2 lose equals 0 points for the losing team. So Invictus Fortuna is going to go out with 0 points. Infamous SK going to leave with 3 points. Top 2 teams of each group will advance to the knockout stage, where we will then do a single elimination with global bans and a draft pick. All right, let's we'll take a couple of minutes here while we swap up everything for the next match, which will be Viet Glory versus TM1.
Through the night, we're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through the night. Whoa, we're gonna make it through the dark. We're gonna find out who we are. We're gonna make it through the dark. No one can tell us who we are.
I fall in the dark as I'm filled with the energy rising in me. I am watching from above. My body as I
when I see you in the morning? Will you still want to be true? I can dream, I can dream that we'll see a brighter day.
And I'm alive, more alive than I've ever been your way. And I'm alive, more alive than I've ever been your way. And I'm alive, more alive than I've ever been your way. And I'm alive, more alive than I've ever been your way. Well, I can dream that we'll see a brighter day. I can see in your eyes breaking through.
Autobots, transform! Autobots, transform!
Summertime through blue and white, where I can fly. Take me by surprise, bring me to the stars, to galaxies so far from ours. Set my spirit free.
Alright guys, we are back. Let me just go ahead and change the team names. Team A is going to ban Celeste. Let me get Celeste up here. A Celeste and Sky. Okay, so a lot of Sky being played here in Southeast Asia. I mean, we saw Spaghetti and how he was playing Sky really well. So makes some pretty good sense there to have that. Okay. We've got Viet Glory and TM1 for this matchup. TM1. Alright. Let's get them going here for the picks. All right. So they are picking everybody's taking their time, trying to make sure they get what they want. And it looks like the teams have been picked, and we are going to go into this. All right, and here we go, and the teams have been picked. Team Mystic going with the Saw, the Petal, and the Catherine. Viet Glory going with the Adagio, the Petal, and the Finn. So some really interesting team comps we have going today. Very interesting team comps. And we are off on this second round game in the Christmas Cup by SHiversteel. And interesting how we're seeing two Petals here as well. This is quite an interesting team comp and quite an eclectic team comp we have. Petals really strong this patch. They've done a lot in terms of changing Petals abilities, you know, back to energy reliance, and so they've done a lot of changes on Petal, and I think they have helped Petal to become a bit more viable here. Also, you've got Saw, the tier 3 skin, looking really nice. That tier 3 skin, as you're seeing some stutter stepping done by Mystic John. You know, the advantage of Saw is that he's got that ability to really push and put pressure in on the turret. And here we see an early push from Orange Team. Petal getting in there, but now it's a 3v2. There goes a nice stun, but the Finn A skill comes across and saves Petal, but the suppressing fire goes down, slows down Vig, but oh, Lin goes down to that stacks, the 12 stacks, and Nami now has to run away as it is 3v2 now. Hua trying to come back in, but getting poked by Nami. The range from Adagio comparable to the range to Petal, and that's going to allow them to steal a little bit more gold and jungle farm from Orange Team, as Blue Team does a good job. So the rotation down from Mystic John, really important there, helping his team. You know, he's burning boots, he's burning his roadie run just to try to get into position to help his team, and it's actually paying off for him here. So not a bad decision from Mystic John as the Saw. So whoever said that Saw is too slow to rotate down to the jungle and help out his team is obviously not seeing Mystic John play Saw, and that's exactly what's helping them win the team fights right now. Now, from their side, now Orange Team realize they need to push a little bit stronger here, see if that will come back to bite them as they have lost 2 jungle camps already. You're seeing 1.7k to 2.1k difference now in the gold. Triple crystal bit. Oh, look at Nami going with the double crystal bit and the double swift shooter. Very interesting move here with the double crystal, the really double crystal heavy comp now for Orange Team. We will see what happens here. Look at the strong push in. Look at the Mystic Hua takes out that gold farm there. Lin has to try to get away. It's a 3v2. You're seeing Mystic John pulling up the back end here and allowing them to now steal the farm. So will we see a counter jungle from Orange Team? Looks like we are going to see a counter jungle. KY needs to be a little bit careful. He's no energy, no health, but he's going to barrel ahead, and here they come from behind. It's a 3v2 in trouble. Mystic John with that. Look at the stutter step from Mystic John. Hua getting a really crucial Merciless Pursuit stun there on Nami. And they're going to push ahead on this turret as Petal goes and steals some jungle. But, you know, is it worth it? Because they're going to lose this turret. That turret does go down now. Suppressing Fire goes out to get the slow. Nami and Lin trying to defend the turret. As Petal on the other side just goes and steals all the jungle. Thought about transporting home and deciding against it. You know, in a lot of ways, this is quite an interesting fight because you're seeing how dominant Blue Team is with that Saw, but wow, he has to get away there or use the roadie run to escape a little bit too much pressure on the turret. John is now going to teleport home. That's going to leave Hua alone, but I don't think they're going to catch Hua at all. Mystic Nyx now rotating down to the jungle shop. A little bit of shopping done here for Lin. Interesting early armor and light shield from Lin rather than trying to push for that fountain. An interesting buy considering doesn't have any items to help his team out right now. And in the lane, Mystic John bought that early weapon infusion, something that a lot of teams used to do before. We'll see if it helps him here. I think the 500, in my opinion, 500 gold cost for the early infusion, not necessarily always a good buy. You have to be very careful in terms of when you are going to use it. It has to be in conjunction with a strong push from your team. And you have to realize that you are sacrificing long-term for short-term gain right now. But they are pushing, they keep pushing, and they keep stealing the farm. Poor KY144 unable to get the farm as it just continues to get snatched away from his hungry fingers. There goes the gold mine take. Lin in trouble. Lin's going to go down. Nami unable to do much there. Suppressing Fire goes down. There goes the ultimate. Does catch Nami, but not enough to really worry him at all as the blue team continues to press and put pressure onto the orange team. They are just taking down these turrets. You're seeing how dominant Saw can be when he's not being focused by the enemy team. When he's allowed to kind of bring up the rear in a lot of these team fights, he's very, very powerful. And that's the thing. And that's how Saw always has been. Where Saw, you know, in the past, Saw, once he got focused, he just got killed really quickly. But now with the changes to Suppressing Fire and Roadie Run, it gives him an escape. And that's quite crucial because of... Uh-oh, this is not good. This is not good. The ultimate's going to go up, but look at how quickly KY dropped. He took aggro from the minion mine as well as 12 stacks against the Saw. Not something you want to do. You do not want to rush a Saw who has 12 stacks and is going weapon, especially not when he's got 12 stacks up. So not a good decision from HH there. There's a minion candy goes out on the lane minions as they push. Always a good thing to do when you're trying to make that last push. Put the minion candy there onto the lane minions. It's a worthwhile buy. Highly recommend it. Allowing his team now to siege the turret as much as possible. Mystic John's positioning is good. There's a nice stun. Comes out. The pull, not a good decision, but may have ended up paying off in the end, as I think John is going to drop. No, the fountain goes out. Saves his life. Nami getting the successful Verse of Judgment out. And there goes Mystic John to turret aggro of all things. Oh yes, I need to swap the names. So you're seeing how dominant the blue team is when they're just rushing the Saw, coming in from behind like that, and unable to maintain his formation. Really strong there. I think very, very important for that Saw just to keep that, that formation and just bring up the rear. As long as they're not getting focused on him, can do a pretty good job of just pushing that lane. And there goes the weapon infusion. They're trying to put this game to bed right now. And they're trying to push as much as possible here and try to finish this game off. Good decision, I think, from them. Try to continue to put that pressure in on the team. And just not let up. Don't give them any kind of chance to come back, bounce back. No breaks, no respite for them. I mean, the goal difference is massive, and as we're seeing in a lot of these games, goal difference making a massive difference in terms of how quickly these games are ending. We see a team fight happening right now. A lot of stutter stepping from Mystic John, showing us how to stutter step. If you got that tier 3 skin, he must like Saw. There's the pull, trying to isolate out Saw, but he uses his roadie run to get away. No follow-up stun, so what you really need when you have that anchor pull from Finn is what you really need is you got to have a follow-up stun if you're going to lock down somebody who has the ability to get away. And there you saw what happened there is it was a good intention from Finn to get that lockdown, but no follow-up stun. I think Adagio has to get that slow. So when that anchor pull comes out on Saw, you've got to have Adagio get that slow on him so that he can't run away, and then that's how you lock him down. Now, if you had a Catherine or somebody else with a stun, a Celeste with a core class, then you'd have a double stun chain and you can lock him down a lot quicker, but you don't have that here, so you need to leverage that slow ability from Adagio to get those initiations onto their targets. There goes an ultimate from Petal, but not doing much damage. Miss aim there, and down goes Nami as they chase out Lin, and they're going to take out Lin. HH, nothing else he can do. So the ultimate going off, but not doing too much. As that last turret comes down, Mystic John, nice stun in on Nami. Nami goes down the 12 stacks. Look at the double crucible, reflex block, and the fountain lets Mystic John stay alive as they try to take out HH, but not enough as Lin comes across and helps out and prevents that push. So Orange Team barely hanging on by the hairs of their chinny chin as they are trying to just do something here, but it's going to be a tough clawing their way back. I don't think this is gonna do too much. What they need, however, if they have any chance of getting a comeback, is they need an ace, and they need to focus in on that saw. They need to lock down that saw. So I think your best bet is to use that anchor pull from Finn combined with the slow from Adagio to get that ultimate off from Petal to just delete out that saw, and that's what they're going to need to do. And here you're seeing a split target here. It's Mystic John versus Nami. HHK uses the ultimate but doesn't go off. Here comes Versus Judgment, but stunned out of the Versus Judgment. Brilliant stun from Hua to stun out Nami from that. Despite having the infusions, Lin goes down. Nice suppressing fire, slows down Mystic. Nyx goes out there, and Junkie versus Hua. Split target from Viet Glory there, not understanding who they're going for. I think Petal had the right idea, go for that saw. You know, try to kill him when he's trying to get that spin up, but just no support from his team. His team's not there. His team's somewhere else, and that unfortunately cost them the life of Lin. We have to go back to that previous fight as well. Back there where Saw was in trouble, you saw the double Crucible and the Fountain saving him. Really good timing on that, keeping him alive, and that's really important. Really important to have them keep alive your Saw. John doing a good job of just continually putting pressure and not afraid to use that roadie run to escape if he needs to. Taking a look at the builds here. Nami in with the Broken Myth. Crystal Infusion from HKY. The stun from Hua trying to initiate in. That Storm Guard reflecting a lot of damage. Mystic John bringing up the rear. Continually killing out the pets. Really important to kind of just neuter the ability of Petal to get the damage out and to get the ultimates out by just killing the pets. And with the Saw's super fast weapon speed, attack speed with his 12 stacks up, he can do that. One of the few characters continually to kill the pets from Petal. Orange Team now going to venture into the lane a little bit, push out. John is back in the back camp. That's going to leave Blue Team a little bit split, but I don't think they're too worried. The Warhorn buy from Hua so they could lock down a lot of those chases that they've been missing out on. There goes the flare. Lin pulls in Mystic. Suppressing fire goes out. There goes the stun in on JKY. There goes the ultimate, but he gets deleted immediately. 12 stacks up. Nami goes down as well. Look at the Mad Cannon taking out Lin, and that's going to be GG. As we saw there, a good stun from Hua onto Nyx, getting the full brunt, or sorry, on HKY, getting the full brunt of that suppressing fire, and then the follow-up usage of the Mad Cannon from Mystic John, just deleting out everybody. Didn't even have to use his roadie run to finish off anybody. His Mad Cannon was enough to take them out, and that's, you know, the beauty of having a really synchronized team. You're seeing Mystic really playing a very tight-knit, very close-knit formation. Good teamwork, good initiations from Hua, understanding who their target is, and that's really taking out Viet. There goes the anchor pull. The slow comes in from Nami. What we just want to see, the counter stun from Lin versus Judgment comes out, but we've got John running away with the roadie run, but Nyx in trouble as well. He goes down. Hua's now trying to take out KY. Meanwhile, the Kraken continues to pound on the turret. John barely getting away with his life. There goes the target in. Suppressing fire, a Mad Cannon from John, but no stacks up yet. A few stacks up. Oh, Mad Cannon takes out HKY. Snipes HKY with barely a chunk of health left, but he's going to go down to Lin. but they have achieved their goal, which is to take out 2 of the turrets. Amazing snipe, Mad Cannon snipe from Mystic John on HKY just to take him down. And that was a big move there, basically just cinching the win. A last-ditch effort from Viet Glory, possibly, as they are popping infusions as if they're candy. Who knows if it will be enough? I don't think so. Look at the goal difference, 17.4k, 25.7k, 16-3. Not going to quite sound the GG bell yet. However, it is looking grim. They're caught in a 3v2. Suppressing fire goes out. Lin trying to get back a little bit. Here comes HKY. Merciless Pursuit. It stuns HKY. Ultimate goes off. Mad Cannon. Mystic John's got the 12 stacks up versus Judgment hits, but was Crucible blocked. There, Mad Cannon continues to go out. Deleting out. Roadie Run coming in. Takes out Nami. Nice. Crucible and Fountain. Suppressing fire from Mystic John can finish off KY. The hop allows KY to escape. They're going to say, okay, forget about it. We're going to try to go against this turret. KY comes in trying to prevent anything, but the 12 stacks from Mystic John just makes it impossible to do anything. And that is the game. A decided one-sided victory from TM1 that saw wrecking Absolute Face. Good job from Mystic. We're seeing a Saw now in this tournament, and I like it. I like this Saw. I like Mystic John, and I am happy to see the versatile play styles of both teams. Seeing Petal also making an entrance in this tournament. A lot of good things in this game. Really good to see the synchronization of Saw timing his suppressing fire to get the slow, and let's give it up also to Hua with those great stuns in on the Orange Team Petal. Congratulations to TM for that win. Decided victory over Viet Glory. We need to see Viet Glory adapt and try to come back in game 2 to see what they can do here. But the MVP of that match definitely goes to Mystic John on that Saw. Nick's doing a great job as well for his part, 8-1 and 8 with the Crystal CP Petal. A lot of double shields here from both of them, as you're seeing super heavy, you're seeing two broken myths from both the teams here. I think the build here from Nami a bit interesting. Broken myth without any other crystal damage. Too weak, I think, here. Maybe a breaking point might have been an interesting buy here for Nami. I think Adagio with that B skill damage buff, actually something that's quite a lot to contend with, and they're not leveraging that. Also, the initiations from Adagio not good enough in terms of getting that proper slow out in time when the enemy jumps in. So when you have an enemy jumping into the team fight, you need to quickly get that slow off, buff your damage so that you can quickly kite off some damage. A lot of people kind of just let Adagio just float around and do his thing. They don't really think he's going to do damage, but when he buffs himself with that damage, you can do a lot more than you really think. Alright, teams are going to now switch gears here. I am going to now swap the teams again to the other side. TM1 is now on orange with Viet Glory now on blue. Let's see what their bans are. Sorry, let me just change the colors on these. Team 2 now going to be moving to orange. TM1 now on orange side. Okay, let's take a look at the bans. Viet Glory bans Sky. Okay, so that can stay there. And what will Mystic ban? What will Mystic ban? They banned Celeste. Okay, so the bans are going to be the same. Sky and Celeste. You know, you're seeing these characters played a lot in Southeast Asia servers, so I'm not surprised to see Celeste get banned or Sky to get banned, especially when you see how dominant Spaghetti was in the previous game on Sky. So, you know, very interesting differences between other region metas versus, you know, SEA, for instance. Celeste, definitely a pretty powerful laner for all regions, but, you know, SEA seems to be really, really liking the Celeste and integral part of a lot of people's team comps, which is why it's getting banned out a lot. Now, in the next round, when we go into the single elimination and we have the draft and pick system, it will be interesting to see how this now affects the alternate heroes for a lot of these guys. I mean, it's also an interesting thing. It's also interesting that they are, you know, gonna let, you know, Mystic John take that Saw again. So, you know, the thing about the ban system, I think, is you got to react to how the teams play, and John is so good on that Saw. He's known for that Saw. Why don't they ban the Saw? You know, they're just gonna let them do the same team comp. You know, so I find the inflexibility of some of these teams to be their downfall. You got to be able to adapt to what the opposing team does. All right, and here we are, underway. Same team comps for both, except Team Viet Glory going to now swap out the pedal for Jewel, possibly trying to get that double stun chain, maybe to lock down that Saw, but they have not banned Saw, so are going to let Mystic John continue to play his favorite character. And you can see already, look at that, already the damage, the star stepping, John playing really aggressive, trying to get as many hits on Nami as possible, but don't forget that damage buff from Adagio also doing a lot of work. Missing CS there. Nami needs to be a little bit careful here. Now we've got a congregation of both teams down by the jungle shop. Flare goes out. I don't think there's going to be an engagement here. Nice rotation up. Did he get the Rocket Leap up? Yes, but Rocket Leap misses, unfortunately. Mystic John is saving that roadie run for exactly that situation, which I think is very, very smart. Don't burn that roadie run. Keep it for that situation, because you know when you press ahead so far aggressively in the lane as he is doing now that there are going to be a lot of attempts to gank him. Quick look at the early builds here. Double Crystal Bit for Nyx, Swift Shooter, Weapon Blade for HKY, or we'll just say him 144. I'll call him 144, or Lee maybe. Lee, I guess call him Lee. Nam up in the top, continuing to try to get some of that CS there. 10 CS to 15, 16 CS. So John pulling a little bit ahead in the CS, but that is to be expected considering Saw. We're going to see him use that roadie run to get away. As soon as Lynn showed her face, he was out of there. Suppressing Fire does go in. I don't think it's going to do too much. I don't know if they want Orange Team wants to engage on this, as Hua is already low. And yes, they are now going to back off. Triple Crystal Bit now for Nyx. And they're just going to continue to farm up. And Jewel also needing quite a lot of farm. So no surprise there to see blue team also going back to farming. All the action seems to be happening in the lane as we've got two strong laners, Nam and John. Now rotating down and clearing. It's going to be a three-man meeting up for both teams in the jungle shop. Will flare go off there? Suppressing fire comes in. There goes the stun in. Lin takes a full breath of the stun. Gets deleted before he can stun back in return. Split team. Lee continuing to do hits on Hua, but the 12 stacks are up. Rocket Leap misses. There goes the stun. He's going to get the kill, but Rody Run comes in, suppressing fire. Lee in big trouble is going to pay for that with his life. And it's an exchange 2 for 2. You're seeing how aggressive Lee is trying to lock down that kill. He doesn't care if he dies. He wants to make sure that he gets that kill in return. Once again, the stutter step just ridiculously good for John, putting immense pressure down on Nam. That's going to affect his CS score even further. As you see, 25 CS for Nam, 38, almost 40 for John. He's going to completely ignore Nam. He doesn't want to aggro the turret. So as soon as you put hits down on the enemy, you will aggro the turret. And he's done enough, and he is content with taking the turret down to less than 50% as he quickly gets away. So his use of his Rody Run as an escape, as a way to just rotate down to his team, really interesting. I haven't seen a Saw use a Rody Run like that such consistently as he is doing. And I think part of the reason why he's doing that is because he is a weapon Saw. Now, for me, if I play a CP Saw, I'm using that shank as my primary attack, as my primary skill to do damage against the enemy. But he's going weapon, and therefore his Rody Run is not going to do as much damage as it would with a crystal, and hence he's okay with actually using it as an escape. And I think I agree. I think I agree completely with that. Because you are a weapon Saw, getting the 12 stacks up is going to be everything for you, and that's where all your damage is going to come in play. So leave that Rody Run for escape, especially when you consider the enemies running that double stun with the Rocket Leap and the Merciless Pursuit. You want to make sure that you aren't getting caught out like that. Rocket Leap comes in, but a nice reflex block on that Rocket Leap. Great job from John for blocking that Rocket Leap, and that's going to put them, blue team, on the defensive as they thought they would be able to lock down John. There goes a big red button on John. He escapes, but a nice defensive stun in from Hua on Nam. Lin goes in on Nyx, but Nyx plenty of health to kite down and take out Lin. So really hot and heavy right now. John playing with fire. Rocket Leap comes in, takes out John. Nice Rocket Leap from Lee, but Hua, is he going to go down? Yes, he's going to go down to this shot. 355 damage, and we are going to now see an ace for blue team as Nam remains the only one left after the dust settles on that intense team fight. They are going to now try to go for this gold mine. John far away, 6 seconds on his Rody Run. He may be able to steal this if he gets there in time with the suppressing fire. Looks like he's going to get it. Is he going to get it? Yes, he gets it with a brilliant steal. He's got 12 stacks up, and he gets away. That was an epic steal from Mystic John. And they get the steal. 12 stacks up, pushing hard, suppressing fire. Rocket Leap goes out to get the escape. There goes a flare. They know they're now pulling back over there. Mystic John, oh, caught the wrong way. Ran into the enemy instead, but gets out of that. And that's, blue team's going to say, okay, well, in that case, we're going to now try to push really hard the other side as orange team is now flipped. John using his Rody Run and his boost to get into position. Stun goes out, but a nice block on that stun as well. Really impressed with how John is managing these reflex blocks on the stuns. He was successfully reflex blocked the Rocket Leap and then just reflex blocked that point blank stun from Hua as well. Or sorry, from Lin. And there we go. And that turret goes down. Immense pressure. Mystic showing really good teamwork here John not afraid to stay in the fight even with low health. And look at the amount of damage they are pulling against this turret. Just a lot of damage. And John just getting away, coming back with suppressing fire. You notice how he uses the roadie run to reposition himself and then put the suppressing fire in on the enemy just to prevent them from following his team. So the positioning from Saw, super important. You're seeing John really relying heavily on his roadie run to get out of those situations. As a weapon Saw, you want to make sure you're in a position to have your suppressing fire out to get those 12 stacks up. He has now used a weapon infusion as well, so he's going to be really powerful. They're going to be looking to do a fight here, pick a fight with blue team, as that infusion still has a ways to go. Minion Candy on the gold mine is going to discourage blue team from making a run at that gold mine, and it's also going to help them in the team fight. If I'm orange team, I'm itching to get a fight right now. I'm itching for a fight. Hua doing a good job of push checking, so keep in mind when you are a Catherine at this stage of the game and you feel comfortable with the dominance of your team, you can have a lot of leeway in terms of bush checking, going out by yourself as a Catherine, perfectly fine. There goes the thunderclap from Lin. Not going to do too much though. Hua about 50% health, but okay, pops a pot. Mystic John continuing to be that barrier, that moving turret, putting those 12 stacks. Look at the amount of damage! Oh, the suppressing fire just misses Lee. Minion Candy in on the lane minions. Ultimate goes out from Lee. Not enough damage. Petals ultimate clears out Nami. Lin in trouble. Mad Cannon goes out. There goes the finish on that nice immediate counterattack push from Orange Team, from Mystic on that, recognizing the opportunity to push and take that win. Again, right before that Crystal Fusion went out, leveraging those 12 stacks on Lee. So Lee just sticking around in range of those 12 stacks, not smart when you've got a weapon Saw. You need to be very, very careful when you are playing against a weapon Saw with 12 stacks, because he can quickly, in a span of 0.036 seconds, he can just absolutely chunk off all your health, leaving your team vulnerable to a push, and that's exactly what we saw there. Suppressing fire goes out. Nice stun block. Again, Mystic John using the roadie run to escape versus Judgment goes out, but not enough. He gets taken out. Now, Mystic trying to kite back. Mystic Nyx doing a great job using that hop to get distance and pushing back and kiting down Lin, who's level 7, unable to contest anything against a level 10 Petal. So despite the fact that they did take out John early, the level differences between Lin and Nam just not enough to contend with a 10 and 9 for Orange Team. Ultimate goes out again. Lee in trouble. Look at the amount of damage done on Nam just by the minions who are double buffed with the minion candy. Massive amounts of damage. Look at all the damage done by the minions. Wow, Lin just barely survives that. Minion candy, double buff minions, massive amounts of damage. Just almost single-handedly taking out the enemy team. Yeah, I mean, I also don't understand. I just don't understand the logic. I mean, we saw this previously. We saw this in the previous game. You just get owned by Spaghetti using Sky, and then the next game you still let him play Sky. I don't understand. This just seems just beyond me why they don't ban these characters that are obviously owning them in the next game. I mean, you let Mystic John run around with the Saw after he just owns you. Doesn't make sense to me. I am completely flabbergasted. I don't even know what is going on in these guys' heads. I mean, because obviously, you're not going to be using Saw yourself, so a global ban on Saw makes a lot of sense, right? If I'm Team Viet Glory right now, I'm going to be like, well, none of us are really going to be using Saw probably, so a global ban on Saws is not going to hurt us in any way, but it's going to hurt them. I mean, I would love to see Mystic John play another character and see how well he does. Stun goes in on Mystic John. Not going to be doing too much damage to him in the end. It is an interesting fight now in front of the turrets. Suppressing fire. Again, the stun gets blocked. Got to be a little bit careful hitting that Catherine with the Storm Guard up, though. You're going to end up doing more damage to yourself than to the enemy. Stun comes in on Nam. Ultimates from both Catherines go off, but that turret aggro, ooh, missed with a big red button. The poke from Lee doing some damage now. That weapon infusion going off, but no Tyrant's Monocle. I think Lee needs to lock down that Tyrant Monocle, and then we're going to see a bit more difference in terms of those poke damages with the Thunder Strikes. Nyx caught out a little bit. One poke does do a lot of damage, but the missed rocket leap, so important that you hit those rocket leaps as the Jewel. Thunder Strike not out yet. The 12 stacks. Mad Canyon. Mystic John comes in with the full burst. Mad Canyon going crazy. Rhodey runs to a better position. Suppressing fire going to be up in 6 seconds. The stun goes out. Nami's not going to be able to contend with that. Nyx takes him down instead. And that is another ace for Team Orange. Crystal infusions for both of them. Weapons infusion for John as they make this last push. I don't understand why Blue Team wants to continually to rush John when he's got the 12 stacks up. It seems to me to be common sense that you don't want to have a team fight with this Saw that has 12 stacks up and a weapon infusion. Stun goes in. Atlas Pauldron hit. Not going to do too much as the Rhodey run once again saves John's life. Suppressing fire goes in initiation. John does get stunned, but there goes another Crucible. A fountain. He uses the Rhodey run to get away. Blue Team pushing hard, but down goes Nam. And that's going to put the Blue Team again on the retreat. Not good enough focus on Mystic John. Not good enough focus at all. And down goes Lynn. Mystic John is going to die, but the turret is going to go down instead. Jonkey coming across. Misses with the Rocket Leap, but kills and clears off the enemy. The Kraken is up. If they can make a run and take the Kraken, they can make a push and possibly get 2 turrets, or 1 turret at least. They need to make a... I think they need to go for that Kraken. They need to do something desperate and go for that Kraken, but they're not going to go for it, and they're going to allow Orange Team to spawn in. And that's not going to be good for them, I don't think. I think what Blue Team really needs to do here is they need to lock down the Saw, but everybody has to go for the Saw. So as soon as he spins up, the Rocket Leap and the Merciless Pursuit has to come in. They have to stun chain that, and they have to lock him out of the game right away. They can't allow him to continue to sit there with 12 stacks. The critical pokes from Lee, important. He spent money on double infusion, so he doesn't have the Tyrant's Monocle, so he does not have the advantage of that critical right now. Mad Cannon not up. John with the 12 stacks doing his work, going to town, trying to lock down Lin. Lin runs right into Hua. Hua's going to get that stun off and finish off that. And that's another ace from the team from Viet Glory. So Mystic John once again dominating, and Team Mystic dominating once again with Mystic John on that Saw. So take a look at the builds here. Not so high in terms of the kills, 88 to 20, but a 17-minute game, super fast as the Saw really pushing hard on the turrets, putting a lot of pressure. A good understanding from John in terms of when he needs to bail with that Rhodey run, and having the Rhodey run up at all times. You can see he rushed with the Sorrow Blade and the Serpent's Mask for his sustain. I would have liked to seen him get more critical. He would have just chewed through people faster, but in the end, it was irrelevant as blue team weren't able to lock him down good enough. You're seeing standard builds from Catherine's. Atlas Pauldron, probably something that you would want to rush a little bit early rather than later. Looking at the Petal, going for the Heavy Crystal. Alternating Current, interesting option on the Petal, on the CP Petal. It does give that 40% attack speed, which is something that you do want with Petal, but on the Crystal side, so a lot of Crystal here, meaning that Ultimate's going to do a ton of damage, Crystal Infusion at the end. Not going super heavy on the defense, despite everything. Not really needing it, I guess, as they're pushing really, really super hard. 138 CS for John, 109 CS for Nyx. On the orange, or on the blue team here, you've got Lee here with the heavy weapon build, but I feel not locking down that critical. If you're gonna go with weapon with Jewel, I find the critical strikes, the critical damage that you can do with one Thunder Strike, really, really valuable. A couple missed rocket leaps there hurt Lee in terms of his engagement, so he wasn't able to get that rocket leap down a few times. I think about 50% of the time maybe he landed the rocket leaps. Need to be able to chain the rocket leaps together in coordination with Lin's Merciless Pursuit, because then you can have the double stun chain, follow up with that Thunder Strike, and with that critical damage, enough critical, you can really do a lot of damage. But instead, going with the Sorrow Blade, I find the Sorrow Blade, rushing the Sorrow Blade, not a good choice on Jewel, because you are not going to be around too much to really do that damage over time, because your weapon, your attack speed is really, really slow. Even though he does have a 35%, I find it's not enough if you want to go that route. Adagio on his side, 2, 6, and 2, was a focus of a lot of the enemy's fire. Going again with the Broken Myth and the Blazing Salvo, just going for kiting speed here, not really doing too much damage, but just kind of a thorn in the enemy's side, trying to poke. I think they need to relook at the Adagio play in this side. 102 CS to 138 CS, so we saw in the very beginning blue team Adagio getting pushed out of the CS very easily by Saw, bullied out of the lane, and that's something that he's going to want to also pay attention to in the future. So good job from Team Mystic, taking both wins. They walk away with the full 3 points, leaving 0 points for Team Viet Glory. They're going to have to re-examine how they want to play in the future, and they're bans, they're picks and bans. You know, if an enemy is there and they're using a character that your team doesn't even use, and he's just destroying you with it, you should ban it. You should ban it next game. And so they need to do that. Alright guys, let's take a couple minutes break while we get set for the next round. Again, you can put in VS, !VS in the channel if you want to see the full lineup. We've got 2 games remaining, Infinite Pride versus Mars, Bumpop versus Saturn, coming up here on SHiversteel's Christmas Cup. Alright, so we'll just take a 5-minute break here while we set up for the next match. Don't go away. We'll be back for the next game, Mars versus Infinite Pride.
Ground control to Venture. What is your status?
Orbit locked.
Right. We are back. Let me just swap these guys here. Mars bans Ringo. Okay. And Infinite Pride IP bans Celeste. There we go. Okay. So let's get ready to pick as the teams go into the pick. For those of you just joining us, welcome. I'm your host and your caster, Autocorrect. We are today fortunate to have seen a lot of matches played, some competitive matches here on the Southeast Asia server. This is the SHiversteel Christmas Cup group stage, double round robin format. As the teams go into the next stage after this, they will go into a draft and pick system. 40k ice plus 6 SEMC swag bags for champions and merchandise from Logitech. Fantastic prizes we have. So we want to thank our sponsors and all the staff who have put in their time and efforts into this this tournament. All right. Looks like we had a little bit of technical issue there. Teams have now picked. We are about to get underway. Are you guys ready for the next fantastic game? Mars versus Infinite Pride. Infinite Pride with the Koshka, Arden, and Vox, something we haven't seen very much, whereas we've got Mars with the Glaive, Arden, and Sky. So yet again, another Sky on the team comp. We still remember Spaghetti Sky, dominant play in one of the previous matches, so we're very interested to see will Mars pull off the same thing. Interesting on the ban side, the Mars picking Ringo must be a reason for this. Perhaps Mike on the Orange team known for that Ringo play, which is why they maybe targeted that ban. Not something you see typically in this latest patch as far as Ringo being too dominant, so interesting that they picked that. Maybe leaving Mike to go for that Vox, something we don't see a lot of actually these days is that Vox. Probably going to go Crystal there. Oh wow, look at how aggressive DNFG is. Getting that in, he didn't take any turret aggro either. So wow, just immediately coming in and stamping his personality onto this matchup. He's here and he's saying, "Get off my face." He really putting some serious amount of aggro. Look at that barrage in on Mike. Mike goes down. Mike goes down immediately with just barely a minute left on the clock. But here comes Orange Team in on the other side from behind. Koshka coming in and taking both of them down. Lack of awareness from DNFG to see Orange Team coming up from that side. There are scout traps there, so he could see them coming up, but he didn't. He was focused on the lane. And there we go. So a good recognition from Phantos to come up and recognize that opportunity and quickly humbling DNFG after he did a good job of putting pressure in on Mike. Now he's just focused on getting the CS on the minions pushed against his turret. Down in the jungle, Glaive, also something we haven't seen too much of recently, although Glaive very dominant in previous patches. Kosh coming in, stealing the jungle, uncontested. There goes a flare. They're going to try to get a gank here. Comes across. There goes oh, what was that? That was an interesting knockback there, but they do get the kill after all. But it looked like GG Dragon getting the knockoff right in the mid A skill Sonic zoom away from Mike resulted in a very weird kind of side glitchy spin-off, and they're going to go ahead and counter jungle on this side, where Mike now comes in, has to take care of that turret. All three blue team now pushing into enemy jungle. Will we see orange team counter jungle? No, they're not. They are walking unsuspecting into this ambush. And here it goes down. Koshka the target. Scout Trap does go off. June in trouble. Goes down in the end. It is now 2v2. DNFG taking massive amounts of damage against that Koshka. Koshka is just too strong. G-Dragon trying to chase but unable to. Mike comes down the wrong side of that, but he is going to get caught. G-Dragon in the end getting hit by both the Scout Trap and Mike, kiting him down, and that is the end of Dragon. Oh no, he gets away with that. He does get away with the Rocket Leap. Despite the Vanguard, will Koshka get in there? Koshka gets in with the pounce and seals the kill in the end. Nice Vanguard from Godlike on Thantos. I thought for sure that Glaive was gone. I thought for sure that rocket axe got him away from that, and no. The combination of the speed burst from Koshka's heroic perk as well as the Vanguard allowed that kill in. G-Dragon 1v2ing against a strong Koshka. But here they come in. Barrage misses. B-Skill does hit, but G-Dragon in trouble. Barrage trying to get that kill. Seal it off. He does in the end. Godlike in trouble. He's trying to get away. Uses the Vanguard on himself. Mike comes across trying to figure out where to go. Godlike goes the other way. Barrage comes out. Mike trying to decide whether or not he jumps in or whether he goes back, and he decides in the end that Godlike too low in health, not going to be able to help him, so he just gets away. Again, look how DNFG so aggressive, just vaulting past the group of minions so that he clears the way for his barrage to hit Mike square on. Good tactic in terms of engaging, because you know, if he stays back in the lane there, his A barrage is going to be blocked by the enemy minions, so he has to use that jump, the mobility of Sky, to get clear of the minions so that his A skill barrage hits him square in the face. A 3v2, Koshka comes in, barrage trying to do damage, but the pounce comes out, stuns him out. Thanos in trouble, drops as well. Godlike drops. GG Dragon doing damage on that Glaive. Here comes Mike in. They're trying to figure out, do they engage? Nice Vanguard in. Takes out Godlike. Mike in trouble. 4 seconds on that Rocket Leap. 3, 2, 1 second. Mike is gone already, despite the attempt. No jungle farm to be stolen here from G-Dragon. And he is going to go now in shop. But here comes Thantos, recognizing the low health of GG Dragon. Has to get out of danger. Rotation down from DNFG as he